Welcome to Divine Hand for another soulful, insightful, spiritual message. Take what resonate, leave what doesn't. Collective. I pre-pulled some cards for our convenience. With that being said, let's get started. So, the first card I pulled from one of my oracle decks, it says, victim mentality. Okay, so there's a need for someone to change their perspective, either you or someone that's in your energy collective. Okay. So the oracle cards that came with this, that I pulled with this, it says chemistry, rejection, clinging, emotional storm, one day in reverse, foundation in reverse, beginnings, depth, abandoned, exhaustion, intimacy in reverse, and past life in reverse. So these cards just basically highlight the pattern where you may feel powerless, wronged, or either stuck in a belief that the life is happening to you, not for you. Okay. It doesn't deny the real pain or the injustice. It just gently points out that staying in this mindset can keep you bound to the very situation you want to escape. Okay, so collective, spirit wants you to know that you're not powerless anymore. Okay, awareness is the doorway to freedom. Okay, is what I'm getting. Healing begins when responsibility replaces that blame. Okay, so you don't want to like play the blame game. And so this someone is in a victim mentality, like, oh, but you played a part in why maybe the situation may have turned out the way you have hoped. Okay, so you take accountability, you learn from the lesson, and you move on. This is how you grow, right? So healing begins. Okay, so repeating the same. So repeating the same painful story over and over again in your mind. Okay. um this is going to attract situations that confirms you always going to get hurt. Okay, so giving your power away from people and circumstances, or even the past. Okay, things that you've been through in the past. Emotional dependency, or validation, is what I'm getting from this, right? So basically, um the soul is asking you to shift from survival mode into self empowerment. Okay, once you protect, you know you may now be limited, right? Once you uh like you got to protect yourself, you're limiting yourself from things that it may be trying to come into you, is what I'm getting. Okay, so release the identity that forms around pain. Okay, set boundaries instead of waiting for a rescue. Okay, choose response over reaction. All right. I honor my pain. Okay, this is how the spirit will want you to, the mindset spirit wants you to honor that pain, right? But no longer live in that pain. Okay, choose empowerment is what I'm getting here. Okay, so I pulled these oracle cards, and we're gonna get into it. Okay, so this speaks of like an intense chemistry that awakens something deep in you, but was met with rejection or emotional distance. Okay, before the foundation could be even built. That's why it's in reverse. Okay, the attraction was real, but the timing may have been off, or you may not been ready. They may not have been ready, right? Emotional maturity was needed in this situation for you or the person we're talking about. Okay. So um we have the chemistry card. Okay, so this is like you guys had like a powerful energetic pull, right? It was undeniable, very attracted to each other. It was a spark, very passionate for each other. Okay, but the soul desire honest, not manipulation. Okay, or mixed signals. So this is where the rejection came in. Okay, so not it's not a reflection of your worth and never should be, okay? But it's just like emotional limits. You like, look, you don't want to put too much of your emotions in somebody that gives you mixed signals and, manipulation, okay? So you're protecting your energy. It's precious, right? This is like emotional storm is feeling, feelings running deep, right, than either person could even manage. So there was some type of pull, and the emotions was so deep for each other, okay? So we have the 1 day card in reverse, and this is like waiting for the future, right? Waiting for someone to mature, heal. This is keeping you stuck, okay? The foundation in reverse, it's like no stability based to support long-term growth. So there's no foundation to support something long-term. So if you're hoping, right, 1 day this person will love you or love you correctly, you're setting yourself up for failure collective if this is you or the other person, okay? So past life in reverse, I got, and this is like a karmic tie that has been completed. Its lessons has been learned, okay? And so this is why the past life card came in reverse, right? You're not repeating patterns. You're not repeating karmic lessons. You already learned them, okay? So this connection trigger old abandonment wounds, right? Pulling emotions to the surface that were meant to be healed, okay? Not endless endurance, okay? The bond offered deep depth and intimacy, but also led you to exhaustion because efforts was just like one-sided or emotionally unsafe. So your soul pulled you back from this person because your soul knows what your conscious mind don't know yet. So this is why you guys, if it was like, so you just started dating someone, it was something brand new, and it never went nowhere. That's because spirit, your spirit team, your spirit guides, they were protecting your heart, because they know that your worth, they know your worth, and you should too, okay? So the soul lesson here was learning the difference between intensity and intimacy, okay? Not all deep connections are meant to last, right? So closure comes from understanding, not reconciliation. So you're not trying to reconcile. That's why the 1 day card is in reverse, but we have the beginnings in the upright. So somebody may want to reconcile with you, but they obviously is in a victim mentality and they don't want to learn the lesson. They need to shift their perspective, okay? So I pulled some 3 tarot cards with this, and we're going to jump right in. So the first card I pulled was the 5 of Pentacles, okay? And so this is like feeling rejected and left behind, right? And so this is what you did. And so this triggers something in this person. It's triggered some type of abandonment wounds or something, right, in this person. And it could be a Taurus, okay? Then we have the Page of Pentacles, okay? So this was like this person wants to come for a new beginning. They want a clean slate, right? But you already learned the lesson, right? This was a karmic lesson, okay? Or this person, but don't have to be a karmic, but they were in karmic energy, and you were supposed to learn a karmic lesson for you. This could be any earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, because we have Taurus to begin with the 5 of Pentacles. Then I'm suggesting this may have been a Taurus, okay? So this is like, someone may be trying to come with some type of sincere efforts, but it's coming in slow, okay? And then we got the 3 of Swords. And so this is basically saying, this is like that heartbreak, that emotional storm, okay? Emotional storm itself, all right? It confirms that the connection, caused some type of pain, right? Some type of suffering, okay? So the heartbreak was necessary to expose the truth, okay? So this is the truth, especially around illusions versus reality, around false hope, mixed signals, and 1 day promises, okay? So you had to let this go. This is why you rejected it, and this person may be in a victim mentality. The takeaway from this is that that you do not try to rebuild with the same person. Build from the lesson, not back to the source of the pain. And with that being said, thank you for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.